Okay, I know this isn't the type of video I normally make on this channel. I'm more of a wrestling kind of guy. But if you know me personally, you know I'm a massive football fan, hence the Liverpool badge. And if you've been living under a rock, and if you watch the football, you'll know that yesterday, Liverpool striker Diogo Jota passed away in a car accident. And I just felt like I will come on here and do this just to pay tribute to him. I know my voice will just meld in with all the other millions of voices across the world who obviously must be grieving this loss. This hasn't really happened to me ever. Someone that I've because I've idolised the whole Liverpool team. But to have that someone who you have idolised just to be gone like that, it's so strange. It hasn't really sunk in yet, like the reality of the situation. I keep thinking, surely he's not actually dead, right? But, I remember yesterday I woke up and first thing I woke up and I picked up my phone and it's my dad calling me. Why is he calling me at 9:30 in the morning? He's at work. I pick up the phone, I go, hello? And he says, I'm sorry to disturb you, I tried to ring Mum. I was like, oh God, what's happened? He said, Diogo Jota's died. I'm like, no he hasn't. You're having a laugh, you're balls at me. I thought he was taking the piss. In that moment I was like, what are you talking about? So I went onto my phone and I searched up this name, Diogo Jota, and there it was. It said Diogo Jota has accidentally died in a car accident. I think it was the Sky News article. And I was like, oh my God. And my mum was next to me, she's like, what's happened? I said, Diogo Jota's dead. And I just couldn't believe it. And I still can't really believe it because, again, surely he'll just play for us next season, right? No. So, Diogo, I'm just going to tell you and the viewers at home, or wherever you might be, just about some memories that I recall of you, especially. I didn't really watch football from about 2020 to 2023. I always kept up with the Liverpool team. I didn't watch them as religiously as I do now or as I did back in the day. Mainly because of lockdown, because I believe the mentality I had was the lockdown season from 20 to 21 was so bad that I didn't watch football. It took me away from the whole thing and I missed the 21-22 season. Again, I kept up with bits. I knew sort of what was going on, but I didn't watch it week in, week out. And I missed the first half of the 22-23 season. I remember once, I think we were playing Wolves. It was the game where we lost like 3-0 or something in the 22-23 season, where I came down, I said goodnight to my grandparents, and I looked at the score and I was like, what has been happening since I've been away? Because this isn't the Premier League, Champions League winning side that I remember. And I was like, who were some of these names? Like, who the hell was Stefan Bajcetic? Obviously, I know who Stefan Bajcetic is now, but like, they're like, the old guard was going soft. There wasn't like, Gino Wijnaldum wasn't there anymore. Divock Origi wasn't there anymore. Mane wasn't there anymore. Firmino was on like his last legs. And the midfield was a travesty. And yeah, Diogo Jota was another one of those names. I was like, it was he. Because I stopped watching football, at the end of the 1920 season when we won the title. I was like, well, we won the title now. What else can we really achieve? Obviously, because I was 10, 11, I didn't really get the ramifications of go again next year or get to 20 titles. I don't know how many titles we were on when we won it. Obviously, it was the 19th. But I was like, well, job's done. Not really much to look forward to anymore. Champions League, Premier League. I'd probably imagine that we'd won the FA Cup and League Cup some time back, so it didn't really matter. Jesus. So yeah, Diogo Jota was quite a new name to me. I was like, obviously, again, I sort of heard the name, but I hadn't really watched him play. And then the 7-0 happened. against Manchester United, and I remember that was the game that brought me back into football. I was like, fuck me, we're good now. I remember the next week we lost 1-0 to Bournemouth, so maybe not that good. But that brought me back in, so I started watching a bit more, like, full games, and I started learning the players more, such as the new faces, Nunez and Jota and Diaz, and obviously going into the 23-24 season, you know, the midfield, the McAllister and Zoboslai and Gravenberch and Endo. But I mean, if we go over some of the memories, obviously there's the 4-3 win against Tottenham where Jota scores in the last minute. I think I remember watching that going a bit nuts. It was the first time in a long time I had gone a bit nuts for over a football result. Obviously, I go more nuts now. And then more recent ones, especially the season we've just had and the 23-24 season, I remember those most vividly. Obviously, because they were just happened. But I always remember in the 23-24 season, if I saw Jota's name on the team list, I'd be like, okay, we'll be fine. Don't worry. He'll bag a goal. He'll help a goal. He'll have a goal contribution. He'll be fine. Don't worry. Yeah, if it was like Jota, Salah, and Diaz, they're like, oh yeah, we're winning. We're winning. And there were times where I was like, Jota, what are you doing? But that was a minority of the time. For the most of it, he was bang on. I remember the 4-1 victory against Chelsea in January 24, where I was like, because most of my friends, or most people I know are Chelsea supporters, so the heat was on. And when Jota scored the first goal, I was like, yes! Fuck all your mums! Sorry, not the time and place. But I was like, it was just that, okay. I don't have to worry, because we've got Jota. He'll score. So yeah, just goals that he scored. I remember last season when we were playing Fulham at home and we were 2-1 down. I was out with my two friends, and one of them was called Sam. And I said to Sam, don't worry, we'll come back. Because I knew by that point that Liverpool always would make some sort of comeback. And we did. I remember when we were walking home from hanging out with I checked my phone, just checked the score, and it was 2-2. It was Jota who scored, and me and Sam went nuts on the nighttime pavement. We were like, I said to him, I told you. So thank you, Diogo, for always proving that point of that would happen. I mean, the most recent Merseyside derby, which proved unfortunately to be his last goal for the club. I remember I came home from a concert at school, so I was part of the choir and a cappella, because I sing so lovely. But I remember throughout the whole concert I kept checking my phone, the one I'm recording on right now, to see if we'd scored against Everton yet. I was like, come on lads, we got this. But nothing throughout the concert. So I went home, full uniform, I'm absolutely knackered. I sit down in the living room, and as soon as I get home, bang, Jota fucking jabs in a goal for us against Everton. Bloody brilliant goal, by the way, as well. That was a corker. And I was like, and all the energy came back, and I was like, yes! Fuck you, Scousers. Oh, that's ironic. God, this is all very cringy, isn't it? The whole fake celebrations thing. Just trying to tell a story here, guys. But so yeah, he was always there. He was always, reliable, and I've never had to worry about our attack. Our attack's never been weak since, the Brendan Rodgers days or the Roy Hodgson days. Then again, I was 2 years old around those times, so I don't really know. But ever since Klopp came in, we got Mane, Firmino and Salah. From that point onwards, I've never been worried about our attack. Yes, even with Darwin Nunez. And yeah, Joss is one of the main focal points of that, because he was just so consistent. Yes, he was injury prone, but when he wasn't, he was banging in goals left, right and centre. For club and country, because obviously he won the Premier League with us just a few months ago, and he won the Nations League with Portugal. So I think the only thing I really have left to say is, Diogo, thank you for the memories you brought me and many countless other Liverpool fans. My thoughts, loves and prayers go out to obviously his family, because, you know, yesterday children lost a father, parents lost two children, and a recently married wife lost a husband. So it's such a deep tragedy that I can't really convey how tragic that must be otherwise by sending obviously my thoughts, my prayers and all sorts. But apart from that, Diogo, thank you. Rest in peace, and you'll never walk alone.